Yours truly, DJ Skribble, standing here with hometown favorite, Paul Malignaggi. It's going down this Saturday, Barclays Center, to go beat up that bum over there. Tell me, what do you do to prepare? Like, do you do anything special musically to prepare for your fights?
No, I wouldn't say musically, but I, definitely you got to get into rhythm.
What gets you involved? Like, what gets you into?
Well, as far as the locker room, I'm always listening to some basically pretty hard hip hop. You know what I mean? Like fight music, I call it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think Eminem had that song called Fight Music. You know, so yeah, I listen to fight music. But in the days leading up to a fight, I actually listen to like low-level music, like slow jams, either R&B or even some 80s stuff.
Right, just to like unwind.
Just to unwind, yeah, because I don't want to keep the adrenaline flowing all day and night as the fight gets closer. You want to be able to rest when it's rest time, and you want to be able to train hard when it's training time. So, musically, as far as that's concerned, I use the music to keep me calm or get me amped up.
Right. And what do you like? What's your game plan for this? Like, obviously, if you could take him and dictate the pace of the fight and bringing him into the later rounds, pretty much you're going to be able to rock him.
Yeah, I feel like, dictating the pace early and dictating the pace throughout, really. But he's never been to the late rounds in an uncomfortable situation. Right. He's only been 10 rounds once, and he wasn't very comfortable. He's never been 12 rounds. So I think, as the fight progresses, if he hasn't already felt that presence of being in with a good fighter and in the fight getting to the later stages, he will start to feel it one way or another, and from there, it's kind of like the old adage: you take him to deep water and then you drown him. Well, I've swam in deep water before. He hasn't swam in deep water. Because
you got the experience, you've been gone all that.
We're gonna take off the bubbles. We usually use the expression: you take off the training wheels for him. We're gonna take off his bubbles and see if he can swim in the deep water without anybody helping him.
Now, I've been watching a lot of the tapes too, and all the hype and all this, the back talking back and forth. What's the whole deal with this chick that I've been seeing all over the place?
Man, all right,
I know you've been asked this 1,000 times, right?
I'll get into it quick. It was a chick, she was in my circle. I have a circle of girls. If I'm single, I'm a single guy. I'm allowed to live the way I want to. You know what I mean? So you have your circle of people. You have your circle of girls. She just wanted to be in a little closer all the time. You know what I mean? So I was like, when you play your position right with me, and this is the way I am, you know what I mean? I'll treat you good. You'll get that. If I'm not looking for something serious, and most of the time I'm not, that's the way it's gonna be. But if you play your position right, you're gonna get treated good. It got to a point where she got a little too uncomfortable for me. I had to try to push her out. She invented a pregnancy on me, which was the main issue right here. This was the main issue as to why I had a problem with him bringing her up. She invented a pregnancy on me. When somebody tells you they are pregnant with your kid, you want to tell them go screw, but you gotta kind of, especially if you don't believe them. But at the same time, you have to make sure it's not yours first. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure what's going on because there was a possibility she was telling the truth. So even though it was little, possibility was still there. So I had to take her serious for a couple of extra months. She bought herself those couple extra months where I actually took her more seriously because I had to get to the bottom of this. And then once I realized it was a fake pregnancy, because dude, honestly, who makes up a pregnancy? At the end of the day, you got to start showing it after a couple of months.
Right, exactly.
So she bought herself 2.5 months, and then obviously I realized it was a fake pregnancy. I ditched her completely, you know what I mean? And like I said, I don't owe you a breakup if we're not together. So it wasn't really a breakup. It was just you're out of here. You're out of my circle. You take a hike, ride your bike, go kick rocks, do whatever you got to do. And next thing I know, she's a bit of an internet Twitter groupie. I guess next thing I know,
she did her own interview and everything.
She did her own interview, yeah, because nobody would interview her, so she did her own interview. Imagine that one. So I guess she got in contact with Adrian Broner's team and whatnot, and the next thing you know, that's what's going on. I didn't have an issue. I don't have an issue with anybody getting with her. As far as I know, they could pass her around the way they want to do it. You know what I mean? The way she wants to be passed around. If that's on her. You know what I mean? It's not on me. It's not my business, not my prerogative. So as far as that's concerned, she can let herself get passed around the way she wants to be. That's fine. That's her business. I didn't have a problem with that. My problem was that this was a person that I had finally got rid of. I had finally got them at arm's length, and it took me a lot of work to do that because it was a bit of a fatal attraction type of issue. I finally had gotten her at arm's length, and he kind of let her back in the circle. He kind of let her back in the mix after all the work that I had been through, So that was the issue that I had with the chick. So that's everything in a nutshell.
Now get back to the business at hand. Hometown favorite. You're fighting in your hometown. I mean, you got to feel real confident going into this on Saturday. Being from Brooklyn, got everybody behind you, defending your title. Tell me about that.
Well, that's the thing. I came up in this gym. I learned to box in this gym. Hitting the bag and just work coming to here every single day, riding the train back when I was a kid. I was a teenager because I didn't have money for a car or anything, Every single day, I would dream of one day I was going to do this and one day I was going to do that. Even sitting on the train, sometimes you get black eyes from sparring, you put your sunglasses on, you sit on the train by yourself, back and forth from Bensonhurst to South Brooklyn to come to Lisa's gym, hitting the bag, and you have these dreams. You go running or go do your road work, you have these dreams in your mind like, one day, man, I'm going to be on the big stage. I'm going to be in a major fight. And I've had my share, but the fact that the Barclays Arena came around and I'm coming in in a main event as a defending world champion, defending my city, my belt in front of my crowd, it's an extra special feeling. It's something even I couldn't have dreamed of because we didn't have Barclays Arena when I was a teenager. So, I couldn't even dream of something like this if I wanted to, The fact that I had something in my home borough, to really showcase myself like this. And so here I am.
So, all right, we're in the locker room. It's like 15 minutes before the fight. Last record that you think you're going to listen to before you walk out?
Let's see. I got a troublesome 96 from Tupac, most likely. 96 was a rough year for me. That was the year I got thrown out of my mom's house. I had to go back and live with my grandparents. I had a lot of trouble growing up. I didn't get along with her, with my mom's husband. I was getting into a lot of trouble even outside the house, and I got thrown out of the house. I got thrown out of school a year later. So, Troubles 96 is a record that for me, I mean, it's the year Tupac died, so it's funny that he had a more Troubles 96 than me, obviously, but it's a record that I hold dear to me because even back then I was listening to it because I was having a bad year,
Well, there you heard it. Saturday, it's going down. The champ, Adrian Broner. This guy right here. It's Brooklyn. It's in the house. We're going down.
Yes, sir.